Hi all. I thought I'd check in with you. It's a Friday, and I don't normally send out videos on a Friday. However, what's coming to light is a lot of people are suffering at the weekends with anxiety and or low mood. And I was thinking about this, and I guess we have more time to think at the weekend. We can busy ourselves in the week, but the weekend, not for all, obviously, tends to be a time when we can have more time to reflect, and that's not necessarily a great thing during a lockdown and a pandemic and everything, all the thoughts that go with that. So what is I thought I'd introduce a technique to help us with that overthinking. So here we go. It's really simple. There are four parts to it. There's catch, label, breathe, and distract. Okay, and it's really simple. So first of all, in order to change a behavior, and in this instance overthinking, to change a behavior, we have to be aware that we're doing it. So that's why catching it is number one. Okay, now the second part, label, and when I say label, you can label it whatever you like. I guess a lot of people choose unhelpful thinking, unhelpful thoughts, whatever it is for you. Call it bananas if you like. Buzzwords are great too. So you need to label it. And the reason we need to label it is because if we try and pretend it's not there, we call that thought suppression. And it's really unhelpful, because what happens is the thought grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was taught many years ago at OCTC that the way to understand this is, imagine you're told not to think about a pink giraffe with blue spots. I think they used a different analogy, but same concept. So you're not allowed to think of a pink giraffe with blue spots at all. Now, if not now, very shortly, guess what's going to arrive in your mind? Okay, so if we try and suppress that thought, it's really unhelpful, because it will get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's the elephant in the room. Okay, so purely by looking and acknowledging that thought, labeling it unhelpful thought, then what we're doing is stopping the suppression of the thought, which is absolutely vital. Okay, so that's catching and labeling. Breathing. Okay, again, we spoke about this in my last video. Breathing's really important because it speaks to the reptile brain, the old brain. So when that's triggered and we have anxiety, fight, flight, freeze, or in this case, it will be trying to overthink, but actually that thinking part of our brain, remember, is switched off, not working properly. So it's a futile behavior to overthink, because you're never going to really be coming up with any great results there. Not as good as perhaps have had you sort of thought it through with your brain operating fully. So what we want to do is breathe to regulate the anxiety, because the whole reason that you're overthinking is trying to manage the anxiety, but it's not going to work. So let's breathe and talk to that visceral self, the only part of the brain that's really listening to pull that anxiety down. Okay, so catch, label, breathe, manage what's been triggered by the breathing, and distract. And distraction can be anything. A great distraction will be, again, what we spoke about in the last video, the using of your five senses, your happy place or calm place. It's a fantastic way to distract. And there's just millions of other things you can do. You can go and make a cup of tea mindfully, stand up, look out the window. If you're fortunate enough to have outside space, just go and stand in outside space. Feel your feet solid against the floor. Take a breath and look around you. Just focus on one leaf on one tree. Okay, and that's a good enough distraction. Okay, right through to, if you're able-bodied enough, go for a run. And if you can't do that, you can scale it down to walk, or even just stand up and, walk on the spot, whatever it is, it's going to be a distraction. Okay. You can choose some really nice distractions, like, I don't know, bake a cake. We've got a paint by numbers thing to do this weekend. That's going to be our distraction. Anything really, make it something you really want to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you feel you have to do. Okay. Well, hopefully that's been helpful for you. So remember, catch, label, breathe, distract, and use this. And also give yourself a break, guys. If you find yourself struggling more at the weekend, that's understandable. And millions of us will be doing that too. It's absolutely normal in these circumstances. Actually, even outside of pandemic, sometimes we get more room to think and ruminate and worry. So this is a fantastic tool, whether you're in a pandemic or not. Okay, so good luck with that, and use that over the weekend, and have a good enough weekend. Yeah, it doesn't have to be fabulous, but a good enough one, and look after yourself, yeah, and your mental health. So long, see you soon.